Here are the moments I think you should know about from episode 35 of Beyond the Gates. Dani continues to spiral. Today she calls Andre over because she wants to show him her birthday suit. Y'all know how I feel about this. They shouldn't be having sex, and they're getting closer to getting caught because today Andre was at the hospital, and before he was leaving to go run off to have sex with Dani, Jacob sees him and he offers to introduce him to a certified baddie. And then Andre's like, nah, I've got better things to do. And because Jacob asks, like, you're telling me you have someone better to see? And it's Dani texting him, and he runs off to see her. Now, whenever he gets there, she is drunk off her ass, drinking this straight, not chilled Russian vodka. He has to hoist her up into his arms, lay her in bed, and then take care of her, give her some Tylenol. But yeah, he is just being dragged more into this spiral of hers. And people are going to start asking, like, what is the connection? Like, oh, you're at her house, like you're not doing a photo shoot. And I have to imagine people are seeing him coming and going. Someone's going to see him. And I just don't know how long this is going to play out. But I don't like the storyline, and I want it to be over. And I want Dani to get help from her friend Pamela. Pamela, thank you so much. One of my followers, I think it was Taylor Nelly, who corrected me or who told me what her name was. So thanks. I hope Pamela comes in and helps her out and gets her out of this mess. Also, Naomi tells Bill she's dropping the case, or she's withdrawing herself from the case because she loves him. He's grilling her in his office about what's your strategy? What are you trying to get at? She mentions that one of her sorors is taking over the case, which, for those who know the Divine Nine, do you think Naomi is an AKA or a Delta? I've got some friends who are all four of them, Delta, or Sigma, Gamma Rho, and the doubly ladies of Zeta Phi Beta. As to not offend anyone, I will not tell you what I would demand my daughter do. But yeah, tell me what you think. Do you think she's an AKA, a Delta, a Sigma, or a Zeta? Anyway, yeah, so Naomi's like, I don't want to spend the time that I have with you arguing and fighting. And really, it's his health scare that like dropped her or made her want to drop this case, because she realizes her dad is getting older and she doesn't want to spend the rest of their days upset over a case that bankrupted him. So yeah, she's not going to be on this case. One of her sorors is, but they're still taking it on. And something, Bill's redeeming himself. He has fired Mike, the male chauvinist, sexist, misogynist, probably racist, because he probably only likes rich black people. That's what a lot of people are. Like, they don't like poor people. I feel like he's one of those people. Anyway, I won't expand on that. And Bill let him go. Like, said, you have to get out of here because you are the problem. So he's no longer working at the firm. So I think that bodes well for Bill's case. And I hope that the victims get some sort of restitution, a settlement. Yeah, but it was very sweet seeing Naomi, then tell Jacob, who met her at home, that, hey, I dropped the case and it was tough, but I told my dad and he grilled me and I just want to figure out how to move on. Also, another storyline we got to see, Dougie, as Joey likes to call him, is at the hospital. He is scheduling surgeries back to back. And Shanice, hey girl, Shanice is like, you're chasing the paper hard.
But you haven't been this busy since, shoot, I can't remember. Somebody's chasing that paper hard.
And he reassures her that no, he just wants to do the best for his patients, and he does not need her to reschedule any of his surgeries, even though they are back to back to back. And while he's at the hospital, his friend Randy, his day one Randy, comes and is talking to him about when he's going to be back at the tables, because Joey is telling him to get Doug back. Now, of course, whenever Doug brings us up, he says, no, you called me the other night and you left a message and you were worried and I'm just checking on you. Clearly, that's not the case. We see Randy talking to Joey afterward and saying Doug is finished with gambling. He then goes to the country club where he runs into Vanessa and Diego, who are having a situationship spat, I guess you could say. Vanessa does not have time for Diego wanting to tell her who she can and cannot talk to. I support all women, and I love this for her. And this is the first time, even though it was out of spite, I've seen her so lovingly be toward Doug, because she was doing this in front of Diego. And then she then insisted that Diego train her husband. So I love that, and I really hope that nothing crazy happens with Diego, because he was acting wild whenever he saw Vanessa with that old head, as he called him. And then finally, Martin and I almost said Smitty. Martin and Smitty, whatever. Martin and Smitty finally find out what happened to Tyrell.
This isn't how I wanted to do this. After bringing you home, I stayed in the car to check my emails. There was one from a reporter I know, asking questions.
What do you ask about?
About this picture of you in the locker room wearing nothing but your chessboard briefs and the nasty comments underneath.
They basically have this whole back and forth where Tyrell does not want them intervening at all. We learned that they were, and I might get this wrong, but they were moved from private school to public school. And apparently all the kids there know who his father is, him and Samantha's father is, and they give Tyrell a hard time, calling him a charity case, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, bro, but that's teenagers, you know? Like, I think they play this really well. Like, teenagers don't know how good they have it. And I wish that they okay, that was my friend who called, so I have to give her a call right back. But anyway, Martin and Smitty are trying to figure out how to address the situation, and they want to be on a united front, Smitty says. But Martin wants to flex his contacts, which really just go to the principal and say, make sure my kid isn't bullied on this school-wide network that only the school kids can see. And Tyrell was like, how did you see it? Screenshots, hello, like, duh. But something interesting that we got from all this is that Samantha and Tyrell, I think they were adopted whenever they were like 10 or 9 or 11, 9, 11, 12, somewhere around there. Because, yeah, just the way they were talking about, you know, you brought us into this bougie world and, you know, all these different things. Plus, there is a new character that's been added to the show. I'll put it right here. I'll hold it right here. And apparently he has some connection to Vernon and Martin. So maybe it has something to do with the kids. Maybe that's how they adopted these kids, because of something they both did together, this new character. And Martin perhaps killed their parents, which that would be a mind fuck. Oh my gosh, Jesus. Anyway, the episode ends with Samantha going up to talk to Tyrell and Martin running out and Smitty being left all alone in their nice condo, which that has happened, I think, a few times in this series. So, Smitty, if you need a husband, I'm here. I don't live beyond the gates, though, so you'll have to come to Seattle. Okay, so I really enjoyed this episode, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for the recap of episode 36, which also happens to be Hump Day.